I didn't get to read the article that he's going to be banned for the Oscars for 10 years. Um, that's fine with me, I guess.
I know. You saw that, right, Joe?
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I mean, he resigned anyway. And I don't see
Yeah.
him winning another best actor Oscar anyway. So I think we're gonna be all right.
I know.
Yeah, all his endorsements and jobs dried up, right? Nobody wants to work with him anymore. Netflix or
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking no one's gonna want to work with him anymore. So I'm in Massachusetts. Joe's in Connecticut. So it's starting to get nice around here, Joe. The weather is beautiful today.
Much nicer. Yeah, looking like spring almost.
Yeah. What's it like in California, Jetai?
it is very hot. So I want to go to the pool.
Yeah. All right. So Jetai, when do you want to record the next show?
Oh, whenever you want to. I'm open.
All right. How about now? Hey, Morks, thanks for joining us at Crimes, Conspiracies, and Beyond. You ever think it's good to face your fears, like me getting shots and blood drawn, which I hate, or Joe being afraid to wear a turtleneck because he's claustrophobic, or Jetai not being prepared for a show and me throwing a random show at her?
That's hilarious. My gosh. Thanks.
So today's show is going to be a little bit different. We're doing a game show. And Joe, do you know the show What's My Line? It's a little bit before our time.
I do.
So Jetai, basically what we're going to do, we see how we have Kathleen here. We have a couple different guests, and we're going to have you guys see if you can guess what they're here for. And Joe, you want to play a little clip of What's My Line so you guys know how to play this game? So this gentleman grows garlic, and they're going to try to guess that.
We can tell you that Mr. Botley is self-employed and deals in a product. And let's begin the general questioning with Arlene Francis.
Mr. Botley, is it a useful product?
Yes.
Is it a product that I might possibly own?
Yes.
Might a man own it too?
Ma'am? Yes.
If either one of us had this product, might we keep it in the house?
Yes.
All right. I get it.
So
you get the game?
Yes.
So you're going to ask...
A less than enthusiastic Jetai understands.
Yeah, so how are you doing, Kathleen? Thanks for joining us. So you live in Florida?
I'm living in Port Charlotte, Florida, yes, right now.
Cool. So we're going to have you guys go back and forth. We'll start with Jetai. Jetai, you're going to ask Kathleen yes or no questions. Once you get a no, you're done, and it's Joe's turn. We'll keep going back and forth and see if you can get it. Now, Kathleen is here for, I would say she was part of a very rare event. So something very rare. So, Joe, you want to start off with some questions?
Was it something historical?
No.
Jetai, your turn.
Was it something that involved drugs?
No.
Is it something that happened that was on the news?
It's a great question.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Was it something that your parents were involved in?
No.
Does it have something to do with your profession?
Nope.
All right.
I'm gonna throw in a little clue here. Not too much of a clue, but this is a very tragic event, and this is pretty cool. You're coming and talking to us about it because I'm sure you struggled with this. So it was kind of something not good that happened. It would involve you getting hurt.
Was this an accident?
Yes.
Jedi, you can keep going.
Did this involve blood?
No.
So nobody was murdered.
Well, yeah.
No. Okay.
In a kind of in a roundabout way, Kathleen, right?
Not really.
Okay. So, Kathleen, was this outside?
Yes.
Okay. And you guys have any more guesses here?
Was this at an amusement park?
No.
So, Kathleen, this was about 50 years ago, right?
This was coming up on the anniversary of 50 years.
Were you beamed into outer space by a spaceship?
No.
It's a solid guess, though. 50 years ago. What was 50 years ago?
It has nothing to do with this. Could happen tomorrow. It could happen anytime.
Were you hit by lightning?
Who said that?
Joe.
I did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Joe got it. You want to tell us about that? And Joe.
Oh no way! Really?
Joe,
Wow.
do you want to bring up the picture of Kathleen and Kevin?
Yeah.
So where was this picture taken? Was this at a wedding? You said.
That was at my best friend's wedding. We were in her wedding. That was about a year prior to the accident.
So did you?
And
come out of
note
it-
the beer bottle, because that's an important aspect of this. What happened? Not that particular beer bottle, but a beer can.
Oh, that's what
See,
it struck.
Kevin. Well, no, Kevin was holding a beer can in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't, and he was killed instantly.
Oh my gosh.
I was unconscious. I was unconscious for, I think it was at least a half hour
Wow.
I'm
in
so
a camping
sorry.
area. Well, like I said, it's 50 years ago, and the trauma, I mean, it's a trauma, but I've done a lot of work. I'm actually a licensed mental health counselor now, and I've done a lot of work in this area and of PTSD. And he, he was holding the beer can.
Wow.
Now, where?
We were in
Yeah.
a camping area near Sebago Lake in Maine. We had just returned from a week's vacation on his motorcycle up to Canada.
Yeah.
So
Definitely
he
this.
had
Yeah.
spent- Go ahead.
The saddest thing that you told me was he was your soulmate. You said.
Oh.
Yes,
I know.
he was.
I'm so sorry.
And I'm in the process of writing a book about the whole incident, the accident. Now that it's coming up on that time of 50 years, so that he won't be forgotten, because not many people really talk about it. It's kind of a taboo subject, so to
Right.
speak. And
Yeah.
none of our parents are alive, so I can kind of be honest with
Yeah.
that. I mean, it was in the 70s.
Mhm.
We were kind of free spirits, and
Yeah. Do you remember?
That's
Do you
it.
remember any of it? Do you remember any of it, or did you just kind of?
Oh,
sit there and
I
you-
remember everything. Every single
Really?
thing.
What
Mhm.
does it feel? What does it feel like getting struck by lightning?
Well, the closest analogy I can bring up is being hit by a Mack truck going about
Yeah.
probably 70 miles an hour.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
Yeah. It's not, I mean, everything on my whole body hurt. My heart was beating out of rhythm. I had what was at that time a flash burn in my eyes due to the the strike. It was just so bright.
So you were
and,
you were still conscious then. You were still conscious.
after a half an hour, I woke up and I was conscious after that. But had to go to the hospital from the camping area.
Were you with
I had
other
all
people?
sorts of-
Yeah. Were you with?
Well,
were
we
you
were
with-
in a camping area. It was in August in Maine, and the camping area was actually full, and it was right near a small lake. So we had been in the lake prior to that incident and heard the storm coming and said, "Well, let's get out of the water."
Yeah. I've been on golf courses a few times when the lightning strikes and they blow the horn, and it is kind of scary. It's one of the worst places you can be with your irons and stuff on a golf course.
Hmm.
So
What are
we're gonna
you
move-
supposed to do?
You just gotta get the hell off the course. I mean, it's very dangerous on a golf course. I mean, anywhere in an open area.
Don't go under a tree either.
Yeah, I know. Do you guys have any more questions for Kathleen before we move on to the next person?
I mean, I've been to Sebago Lake in Maine, and yeah, Kathleen, I feel terrible. I don't even know why I guessed that.
Yeah. So the next one's gonna be a little bit more upbeat. So thanks for Kathleen. I'll keep in touch with you. Thanks for coming on.
All right.
All right. See you later.
Thank you, Kathleen.
Bye.
Bye. All right. So we're gonna move on to the next guy. I'm just gonna go by his initials AS in case someone might know him. Hey, how's it going?
I'm all right, thank you.
Thanks.
Hi.
So what is it? 1 a.m. there?
Yes.
Okay. So we're gonna say, Joe, this is someone who did a rare feat. Definitely an answer to a trivia question, probably. You want to start, Joe?
Did this happen in Europe?
Yes.
Did it happen in your home country?
No.
Damn it.
Jedi?
Did this feat involve a ball?
Bow? No.
A ball.
Ball? No.
Ball? No.
Did you kill somebody?
No.
I'm just playing.
All right, Jedi, what do you got for him?
Did you walk a tightrope between two buildings?
No.
Was it on Instagram?
No, Instagram wasn't around, I don't think.
All right.
By the time, no.
Okay.
Does this involve food?
No.
Was it on the news?
Local news, yes.
In Germany?
No.
Does this involve animals?
No.
I'm gonna give you guys one more guess each, then I'm gonna throw out something to make it a little
You were
easier.
the first one to do it.
Yes.
Do you have special training for it?
Yes.
Is it military training?
No.
Okay.
Are you in the circus?
No.
Why do you want him to be a circus performer?
I would say you're on the right track. You want to find out what the profession is, then go from there once you get
Right.
that.
Do you do performing? Are you a performer?
I guess so. Yes.
Do you juggle?
No.
All right,
Circus performer Jedi.
I'm gonna throw one thing out there right now. Is this a sport?
Sport.
No, I'm asking you, Art.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So that I just want to give you guys a little hint there to get you off the circus. All right.
Did
So
you
I think
score some kind of a goal?
I guess so. Yes.
that might be misleading. I don't know.
I don't know either.
No.
Did you catch something?
No.
I would try to work on the sport first and then go from there. Maybe try and narrow down what he does.
Well, we
Does
know
this
there's no
in-
ball, Jedi. You established no ball.
Right.
So it's something without a ball.
Yes.
Does this involve running?
No.
Are you a pole vaulter?
No.
Have you ever pole vaulted?
No.
You guys are thinking a little bit too hard.
Oh,
What
Are you-
sport? What sport doesn't involve a ball? And this is an individual sport, right?
Yes.
What sport doesn't involve a ball? Fighting? Are you a fighter?
Yes.
ooh.
Are you a like a champion fighter? Have you won championships of some sort?
Yes.
Do you fight MMA?
Yes.
And you were the first to knock somebody out.
I would say on the right track. I guess.
God,
Oh my
Jedi.
God.
Who
Oh my
is this guy? He
I
knocked
know,
somebody
I
out.
know.
Oh my God.
You asked something I haven't heard.
No. He's just thinking. You've done all the hard work, Joe. Just say the answer.
He's a champion of MMA. He's the European champion of the world.
Okay, so Jedi, do you want to take one more stab before I just have Joe pull the clip up?
Are you the MMA champion who upset a champion?
Yes.
Underdog. Yeah.
Yes.
Did you beat Kamara Usman?
No.
Jedi, who do you think he beat? He's one of the only people in the world to put this guy into submission.
Oh, I don't. Oh.
You want to pull up the Art 1 clip, Joe? From 2008? That's Conor McGregor on the top.
Did you give Conor McGregor his first loss?
Yes.
Art, yes.
No
So-
wonder he went by his initials only.
Yeah, well, I told him
Yeah.
that. 'Cause how do you pronounce your name?
Artemy Sitenkov.
Now, Joe, what am I watching there? Because I'm not an MMA guy. It looked like he was on top of you, then all of a sudden he submitted. Was that like some type of leg lock or something? What was that move?
Yes, it was a leg lock.
Conor's not much of a wrestler. He really just throws a big left. That's pretty much his only move. Did you find that to be true, Art? Was there other things that Conor did that you were impressed by?
No. At that time, he was pretty young. So I just knew that I have to be careful about his punches.
Now, are you shocked how big he is now? How famous he is?
Mm, it could happen, and it happened. So I'm glad he has such a groove in his career.
Yeah. Now, what kind of money were you guys paid back then?
500 euros.
That's what I read.
Oh,
That's pretty
wow.
crazy. I mean, it's unbelievable how much MMA has exploded. Joe and Jedi watch it like all the time.
Yeah, do you DM Conor McGregor every now and then and tell him I still beat you?
No.
Why not?
Yeah.
I would
I'm
do
not,
that all the
I'm
time.
not. I'm not that type of guy, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty cool though. So you're from Lithuania. What is it? It's like 1 a.m. there right now, right?
Yes,
Yeah. You stay up late. The other night we were talking, I think it was 3 a.m. your time.
I
Do
would
you
be
still
sleeping.
fight?
No, I would be sleeping by now, but you asked me to stay, so I stayed. I don't fight right now. I'm 38, and in lightweight category, I'm pretty old already. So I can fight, but I will never be as good as I was. So no
I did
purpose of fighting.
I did see you came back for a comeback fight in 2020.
Yes, it was after my divorce, so I had some to do something to get some
Yeah.
adrenaline.
Yeah.
Would you like to take this opportunity to call Conor McGregor out to avenge his loss? That might be a nice payday, Art, is all I'm saying.
Uh, I don't know. Do you understand that business as much as I understand? But Conor McGregor doesn't need to fight me because it will be quite poor fight. I mean, there will be no money.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge name in that business, so
Yeah, but you beat him. I think if you call him out, go on the social media. I know you're a good guy. You don't like that stuff, but that's how these young bucks make their money today. It's all about bap, 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 bap.
I think he's been called out many times, and I'm not the best choice for his rematch. Uh, he will be he will be doing better money to fight other guys. I'm not a good choice, and I understand that. So no point for me to make fool of myself and call him out.
It is pretty cool though, talking to the first guy to make him submit.
Yeah.
Now, Joe? What's harder to do? Make someone submit or to knock him out?
I think listen, it takes somebody with skill and someone who's got obviously training in martial arts to submit somebody. Anybody can land a punch and knock somebody out. It's not that hard. You know, you just literally just opportunity. You catch someone moving in at you, and you're going to knock them out. So to me, or I don't know how you feel. When I watch a fight, I don't want a knockout. I want you guys to go the full 3 or the full 5. That's how I know who the better fighter is. Again, somebody can slip a knockout. That doesn't tell me anything.
Uh, Judges sometimes steal the victory, so I've been taught to finish fight before the end. Like, don't give opportunity for judges to steal your victory. It
Oh, wow.
what I've been told by my coaches many years ago. Like Lithuanian fighter, you cannot make a huge career in your home country because it's small. But when you're fighting abroad, every time the crowd and the judges cheers for local fighter. So for me, wasn't many options to do 3-round fight. You understand what I'm talking.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely good advice with all the corruption everywhere. And another thing I want to ask you, I always ask people this question: who's the most famous athlete in Lithuania right now that we would know? Any like NBA players or?
Yeah, we had some several NBA players. The most famous person in sports from Lithuania, it's Arvydas Sabonis.
Oh yeah.
He was in Portland Trail Blazers in NBA. Right now, I think it's his son, but I'm not
Yeah.
really.
I think he plays for the Pacers. He went to Gonzaga.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not really into basketball, so
Yeah. Now, do you watch a lot of MMA right now?
yes, I watch. It's interesting for me.
Yeah, that's cool.
Who's your favorite fighter?
I liked Khabib. I like Gage.
Justin Gaethje. Yeah, good
Yes, I like Dustin Poirier. I like watching McGregor fights. Many interesting fighters.
Yes, that's cool. Jedi, do you have anything else for him before he goes to bed?
No, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, that was
nice meeting you.
That was really
No
cool.
problem.
Thanks. Keep in touch.
dude.
Thanks.
Last chance to shit talk Connor. Just kidding. No, thank you.
I had this opportunity many times. Every person who I meet tells me the same, like, "Oh, call him out." I'm not interested.
That's
Well, you're a good man.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Okay,
Bye.
goodbye.
Bye. What's up, Nick?
Hi, Nick.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What are you in the car?
I am in the car. I'm driving around the missus and the little guy.
Oh, nice.
I gotta keep my phone on, so when I get the pickup text, I don't get an angry text 10 minutes later like, "Hey,
Yeah.
idiot, where are you?"
So let's get right into this. So we're gonna say this is Nick's job. Do you want to go, Joe?
Nick, you are a reality show person.
Joe, it looks like it.
Yes.
Yeah,
You're on the
I don't
real
know.
world. No?
I don't know how to take that. But I am not. No, I am not. But thank
All
you.
right.
Maybe.
You know-
Probably not.
Now, obviously, this is not a normal job, Jedi. So we're looking for something little strange here, maybe.
Are you an oddity collector?
No. I mean, of sorts, but no.
Yeah.
Do you deliver parts to medical facilities?
No.
All right. So you don't have fetuses in the car.
So
No.
All right.
Not
Maybe-
today.
Not today, he said.
like the last two people, maybe try to narrow down what this profession involves, then you can kind of go from there.
Do you use tools?
No, I would say no.
I would say no.
Is your hair part of the job?
I make it part of the job. It's not really part of the job.
But I would say no for what you're
Yeah.
guessing.
Yeah, no, like it's not used in
Yeah.
the job.
Yeah.
Are you a sign language interpreter?
No, I did used to speak sign language. I had a deaf cousin, but no, I'm not.
Are you a doctor?
Oh God, I wish. I do. I play one on television. Not really.
Jedi?
Are
Do you
you
go to
a
people's
jeweler?
houses?
Oh.
Do I go to people? No.
Okay.
Are you a jeweler?
So
No.
what I will say is Nick is one of the top in the world at what he does.
Oh.
What specifically? What, number 6?
Yes, number 6. Right now, it should be probably number 3 or 4. But it's number 6 officially.
Are you the lead singer of an alt rock band?
Oh God, no. Yeah,
Joe,
I'm gonna cover for Nickelback in their next few concerts.
Joe, I just said he's number 6 in the world at something. You don't rank rock bands. He's literally, if you Google him, you can be like, what number is Nick? And it will say his world ranking.
Do you play a professional sport?
I'm gonna say yes to that.
Yeah.
I guess.
Are you the world's best yo-yo guy?
I mean, I'm not the world's best anything, I would suppose, other than I
Are
don't know,
you
maybe
the
like
sixth best yo-yo player in the world?
I am not. I've never. I'm a terrible yo-yoer.
Nick, you look like you'd be good at yo-yo.
Oh, I wish.
Jedi,
Are
what do
you
what do
a
you-
dance champion?
Oh God, my kids might tell you yes, but my fiance would tell you hell no.
Do you have the 6th highest rated show on YouTube?
Oh man, dude, I really wish for that. I wouldn't be driving a Nissan Altima if that was the case. I like my Altima. Nothing against Nissans.
Fair enough.
But they are on YouTube, and I've watched a bunch of them, and it's the most entertaining thing I've ever seen.
I am on YouTube, yes.
Yeah, we're gonna watch a couple of those clips too. Joe, I will tell you one thing. We were talking about this profession recently. We're like how insane it is.
It's a gift and a curse.
Yeah.
Are you a prepper?
No.
Do you have anything set aside, like some water bottles at least, in case, God forbid?
I have in water bottles in what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's water bottles in what I do. Yeah.
Water bottles.
It's a to the side, if you will.
Yeah. And maybe at some point you might use some type of mix.
Yeah, totally.
Which I thought it was always water. Then I heard you talking about mix. I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Gonna give you guys like one more guess each, and then we might give it away for you.
Do you make beer?
Oh no, my brother does. But
Your brother sounds cool, Nick.
Yeah.
Bet you he doesn't drive an Altima.
Yeah.
No, he drives a Subaru.
Jedi, one more guess, and then I'm going to go to the clip of something.
Okay, were you on Inked, the tattoo show?
No, I do have a few tattoos though, and I want to get more.
Okay,
So I wish.
so according to the official world rankings, Nick isn't even the top in there's someone higher ranked in his household. So Nick is number 6. This person's number 5. Joe, pull up Mickey 1 clip. This is his fiance.
You're a competitive eater. That's hilarious.
Joe, this is his girlfriend. She ate like 44 hot dogs or something.
You guys must be a riot to have dinner with.
Oh, you guys are like a power couple. I mean, it's unreal. Like, I mean, Joe, how envious are you of this relationship? They go
Did
everywhere.
you
and do this
guys
together?
meet doing it, or did you decide to get into it together?
Joe, you can shut the clip down if you want. It's just
we legitimately met the morning of the Nathan's hot dog eating contest at the gym. So
That's such a weird sentence.
It was interesting because we both work out the day of a contest. She does predominantly cardio, and I move some heavy shit around, and I had a photographer following me because people like to watch, and like I look slightly different than a lot of the other eaters. So they had a photographer following me around and watching me train. And she came up to me and introduced herself, and at that point she was a 5-time Nathan's champion.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Hi, are you competing today?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Do you mind if I take a picture with you?" I'm like, sure," because I was just a scrub. Just got it for the first time, and we kind of just hit it off. We have similar like neuroses about ridiculous things, and and it's fun. You get to travel the world and compete with your best friend in wing eating contests or chili or poutine or whatever.
Now, Joe, when he says he looks slightly different from all the other ones, he means he's completely ripped. What are you, a bodybuilder? Does that help? Does that help?
Being in shape, I feel when I get heavier, we call it a fat belt. It's harder for the actual organ of the stomach to expand because there's pressure on it. So when I get heavier, I'll feel like nauseous quicker. So I try to stay in shape. Plus, as I stay leaner, I typically crave more foods and I'm hungrier. So that makes it easy if you got to put away, 226 chicken wings in 10 minutes or something.
How did you figure out that you had this talent?
Had it since birth. No, I'm just kidding. It was one of those I used to be a competitive bodybuilder. And so after that kind of became a little bit more damaging than good for me. And I already had a couple kids. I'm like, I probably want to be around, in 20 years. I need a new competitive outlet. And I had a friend say like, hey, there's a punchki eating contest coming up, which are like Polish jelly donuts. You should do it. And I'm like, yeah, no. I'm like, I'm not doing that. And he's like, well, you can win $200 and you get free donuts and they're raising money for charity. I'm in. Sold. So I win. and I won pretty handily against people who had done it before. I did my next contest, which was the White Hut Cheeseburger Eating Championships, which was 15 professionals, and I was just a bodybuilder waddling himself onto the stage, like not knowing where to go, and I placed 5th amongst 15 professionals. And I'm like, and they told me like maybe you should try this, like you might kind of be good at this. So yeah, it's worked out.
So I'm looking at your world records now. 223 wings in 10 minutes. How does it? But how do you even have time? Like, what considers like a wing eaten? It's like every 2.5 seconds.
They do it by weight. Yeah, weight displacement. So they give us like a 20-pound tray of wings and a giant bowl, and then at the end of the 10 minutes, they weigh the displacement, and each wing counts for X amount of ounces, depending on if it's sauced or not sauced.
I got you. So listen to some of these records. You get the wings. You get 5.2 pounds of rib meat in 12 minutes, 35 bratwursts in 10 minutes, 35 ears of corn in 12 minutes, 28 burgers in 10 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
46 moon pies in 8 minutes. It just goes on and on. A 5-pound burger in 8 minutes.
Bro, are you chewing this stuff or are you just sliding it down the gullet? Like how's this
as little as possible. Chewing is a waste of time. So you try to do it as little as possible with getting it down. And I would say the toughest one may have been I did 12 cans of Spam in 8 minutes. And it wasn't cooked. It was just blocked. So that's 9 pounds of Spam in 8 minutes, which is about 56 grams of sodium. So that was one where after the contest for a while, you're sitting there and in the background you can kind of hear like, "Hello, darkness, my old friend," and things like that. Like, what is my life right now? Like, I could be like an accountant or something, but no.
So one of the most impressive things was his fiance Mickey had 16 and a half pints of ice cream in 8 minutes. A pint of ice cream.
She is unbelievable. Yeah, like I won't go toe to toe with her in an ice cream contest. We'll argue about like cleaning the house, but I'm not going toe to toe with her in an ice cream contest. Any other food, if it's pure capacity foods like space, she can fit more food than I can. If it's a food like Spam or pork roll or pepperoni rolls, or it's a little bit more ferocity, so to speak, that's usually a better contest for me.
And now, Joe, can you pull up the picture of the soda? This one doesn't even make sense to me how you can fit that. They drink So you have what, 24 sodas there. She has, I don't know, 20. What was that, about an hour long to drink all that?
That was, it felt like about 6 days, but it was roughly about an hour, because we were just kind of conversating and stuff too. But somebody like just emailed us because we have contacts on the website, and they're like, "Hey, do you think you guys could chug 24 sodas?" I'm like, "Dude, I can't chug 24 sodas." I'm like, "I'll do my best for you. I'll see what I could do." Because people have fun ideas, and then some people are like, "Do you think you could eat glass?" Like, no, I'm not in the circus. I can't do that. Like, but that was a fun one. So we tried it and got the 24 sodas down. The kicker was, I knew I wanted to get to like 16 of them.
Yeah.
So I got to 16, and then I'm like, okay, that's like X amount of ounces. Well, I want to get to this amount of ounces. And then I'm like, okay, I could get to 20. And then I got to 20, and she's like, if you got to 24, it'd be 2 cases. So I'm like, and my obsessive compulsive disorder kicked in, and I had to get to 24 or burst.
So how do you feel afterwards? How do you guys work it off? Are you guys X-laxing it afterwards? I mean, how do you get it out of your system?
The soda is just a lot of pee, and it was most of them were diet sodas and caffeine free, so my heart didn't explode. But if it's something like 16 and 3/4 pounds of poutine in Toronto, or 44 hot dogs or something like that, then usually the days leading up, I'm in a big calorie deficit. For about 24 hours prior, I'll cut out most solids. Probably take some mag citrate to make sure everybody left. And then the days after, I'm in a calorie deficit too. And it's very much like a financial budget. And it's not something I would condone. But if I told you had to take a vacation every 3 weeks, you could fit it into your budget if you just didn't really spend much on food or like other utilities on a day-to-day basis. Is that going to be a great, rewarding life for you? No, but you're not going to go in the red as long as you're budgeting for it. And that's kind of what it is with calories.
I see.
So what would you say the biggest misconception is about competitive eating?
Amongst the zillions, that there are is like all of us are 600 pounds and we do this every single day.
Yeah.
But realistically, there's people who get angry and they call it gluttonous and wasteful and what have you, which I understand, looking from the outside in. But that said, just this last weekend in Miami, we did Wings for Wishes, which was a wing eating contest combined with an event, and we raised $408,000 for the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Wow.
Oh, that's great.
That's enough for 81 wishes for sick kids, or we raised like $250K for Friends of We Care in Toronto, which is summer camps for exceptional children, or every year Nathan's donates, I want to say 100,000 hot dogs to Feeding America and food banks around New York. So they all have some form of charitable aspect. We're just using our bizarre talents to do that. And I understand why ours seem ridiculous, but like, this is my talent. LeBron James can dunk a basketball. Some people run a 4.340. I can shove stuff down my face really quick.
Do you guys have regular jobs, or is this what you guys do?
So I have a regular job. I actually manage an adult novelty store Monday through Friday. And so my kids, when they get older, are going to be like, Dad, what is your, people are going to be like, what does your dad do? He's a businessman. He's a businessman. It's fine. But no, I do that. And then we travel and do all this stuff on the side. She, being the #1 ranked female in the world with MLE and 7 Nathan's titles, this is her gig,
Wow.
she's much more marketable watching like an attractive woman do all this than watching some douchebag with a colored mohawk do this. And she's a lot more people want to pay to see, and they're much more surprised when she goes like the Big Texan is a famous food challenge, that steak.
Yeah.
So it's a 72-ounce steak, dinner roll, shrimp cocktail, salad. She did 2 at one time, just casual. And she does it like with manners and just chilling there.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, where does it go? Where does she hide it? I'm like, she doesn't. She's a freak of nature.
Yeah.
She just does.
Wow.
Right. Joe, I wanted to pull up a clip, but I can see. Do you have a question?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Well, no, it's more of an observation, maybe a question. Nick, you're going to be my new favorite competitive eater. I love the mohawk.
Thanks, man.
That whole look,
Thank
dude.
you.
That's awesome. I knew you were could tell you were cool at some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just tell. I didn't know what it was, but I think I'm going to be a fan. I told Todd this story. I was in a hot dog eating contest a few years ago. And on the spot, they were like, who wants to do it? And I didn't want to do it. And they were like, you're going to do it. And I did it. And the trophy, you know why? The trophy was 5 feet tall.
Oh,
And I wanted to win.
Awesome.
And I could polish off hot dogs. And so I'm going. I got off to a nice lead. I'm popping them down. And then I hit a brick wall at 7.5. And some dude came sliding up at the last minute. He finished his 8th. He won. You know what I got for second place, Nick? A stomach ache.
Handshake? Yeah, I think that indigestion.
Yeah. And I had to go have dinner with my wife's family for the first time. That was the first day I met them.
So it looks like
they could have been proud.
They weren't. They were embarrassed. They were embarrassed for me.
Nick, it looks like you might be getting your kids now. But can you give us 3 more minutes?
Of course.
It looks like, is someone opening your trunk? Is that what's going on?
Oh God, who's that? No, that's my fiance. She's just she's got the baby.
Yeah. So Joe, you just have to play it for a minute, but pull up the ice cream clip just so we can see the size of these ice creams. Do you have that one?
I don't see it. No.
What about the thumbnail?
Got the thumbnail. Yep.
Yeah. So they're
yeah.
your YouTube channel is what is it? The Hungry Couple?
It's under youtube.com/Miki Studo. So MIKISUDO.
Yeah, so look at some of these things, Joe. The Twix world record. What was the other one? You had 100 Snickers, the
Snickers
Easter egg.
eggs. Yeah, like the Easter Snickers eggs. Yeah, that felt like a punch in the face.
Eggs.
How many you gotta eat? What's your record?
I did 100, which is I think 9.5 pounds of Snickers eggs.
Yeah, it was 21,000 calories.
I would try that.
Gosh.
Yeah,
I'd
it
give
was.
that a shot.
Sweets are tough. If you don't go quickly around the 15 to 20 minute mark with sweets, your body turns on you. It goes to the bad place, and you start like hearing voices, namely probably your parents, going, "We're so disappointed." What are you saying?
Have you ever thrown up while competing?
No, that's an automatic disqualification, and
I would think.
I like money and winning. So you do your best to know where you got to put the brakes on. Ultimately, you know, as ridiculous as it sounds, when we say like we're professionals, you kind of know. You start to know the difference between like, oh, I'm uncomfortable. Oh, this is, you know, this doesn't taste good anymore, and like my stomach is at capacity, and if I try to push it, your body's gonna fight you, and it wins every time. So you kind of know.
What do your doctors say? Do they tell you to stop doing this?
So my general, my primary care, he was very interested. To be honest, he didn't believe me at first, and wanted to do a ton of blood work. And I get blood work done a few times a year, and it's always been consistently pretty good. Like that, since I've started this, I've lost weight and a lot of like my bodybuilding weight, and my blood work and my markers are actually better now than when they were when I was competing. So, and it's largely because let's say we do this, let's just say 15 days a year, 20 days a year.
Yeah.
If 345 days a year, you're making deposits, so to speak, into your health, you can mess up a little bit 20 days a year. And again, we don't condone the behavior, but like, it's so far so good.
So Joe, two things. Joe, I just sent you an email, the ice cream one. And so how many belts do you guys have at Nathan? Does she have 7?
Ouch, man. Ouch. That's a kidney shot is what that is.
7. Let's just say 7 combined.
Yes, we have 7 combined, and we have like a dozen belts combined. And whether they belong to me or not, like we're engaged. So what's hers is mine, and what's mine is hers. Technically speaking, she has got a boatload of belts and looks basically like Floyd Mayweather, or like you remember when Roy Jones Jr. was really good and had like too many belts to carry? That's my fiance, effectively, and I'm like. We're at contest. Be like, can we take a picture? And she'll be like, sure. And then they hand me the camera. It's kind of like being engaged with the prom queen.
That's funny.
No, but it's fun. You know, it's fun. Yeah.
Well, it's gonna be hard going up against Joey Chestnut. It's like running into a buzzsaw.
To an extent, yeah. I mean, he's the best. He's the LeBron James of what we do. You know, Jeff Esper is another one who wins a ton of contests, ranked number 2 in the world. With that said, at one point or another, I've beaten every single person in a contest.
Yeah, right.
You know, if we're eating hot dogs, then Joey's obviously the favorite. But it's like the first time you do it, of course, you're like, oh man, that's Joey Chestnut. And then after that, you get to know him, and he's like, that's Chestnut. He's an asshole. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to beat him anyway. He's just a guy. You know, it's he's very, very good. But with that said, I do anything to win. If I didn't think I had a chance to win, I wouldn't do it. What's the all these people who compete to be like, oh, I'm there to be better than myself. Well, I practice to be better than myself. I compete to win.
Yeah.
So, well, you're recognizing the talent in the Jeff Espers or the Miki Sudos or the Joey Chestnuts. It's like, well, I'm climbing the hill. You guys have been up there for a while, and I'm going to kick you off when I get to the top of it.
Yeah. Jeff Esper lives like 20 minutes from me. He lives in Oxford, Mass.
Oxford, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Joe, before we let them go, do you have? Oh yeah, want to put the ice cream clip just to look at how much ice cream this is. This is Burlington.
Schoolhouse Ice Cream in Burlington, Massachusetts. And we've got our 10 scoop sundaes in front of us.
10 scoops of ice cream, 10 toppings.
There's like 10 bananas in this.
Biggest fan of whipped cream ever.
Wow.
Just casually melting. So we are going to get to this.
God, let's get going. Oh,
going the other way.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Thank you.
I mean,
Joe,
how envious are you of that relationship?
I would love to hang out with both of you guys.
Yeah.
We'd have so much fun together.
Anytime, man. We like to tell people we're pretty boring, but you know, we do some fun stuff.
So Joe, Nick has spent a lot of his life in Connecticut. You're from Connecticut, right?
Originally Hartford, but I've lived in New Hartford, Granby, Torrington. Yeah.
Yeah. How often do you get back here?
Not too much, you know, like once you leave, I think you stay out. No, I'm just kidding. It's one of those things where we dig Florida. It's great, but hopefully the White Hut cheeseburger eating contest comes back at the Big E again. So we'll be going through, right up there. And then, you go back up there because I have some family up there and stuff too. So we go back up periodically, and then my other kids fly down. You know, they're still in Connecticut with their mom, but I fly the other kids down all the time. So I go up there to pick them up, and I get a bunch of friends there. So there are parts of me that love parts of Connecticut, but like especially this time of year for the past like 6 months, I love it down here.
Yeah. All right, so we have Mark coming up next. So yeah, thanks guys, and
thank you, Nick.
Keep in touch.
Good luck.
Nick, one quick thing.
Thank you.
2 weeks ago, Joel Hansen was at the bar next to my house. They have this Mac Attack thing where you couldn't even imagine eating the whole thing, and he ate 2.
Oh, is that the burger?
Yeah, it was like what was it, Joe? Burger, mac and cheese, fry. It was just like an insane amount of food.
Yeah. I think we might have done that. Meek and I might have done that one. We went and did
really?
that one just for like we were driving home from PAX East when they held it in Boston because we were featured in a video game.
Yeah.
And we heard about the challenge, and it was kind of like, hey, you want to go get a free lunch? Like, yeah, why not? So we recorded that. That was a fun one. Tasted pretty good too.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up. All right. Thanks, Nick.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nick.
You're the man, guys. Appreciate it.
Yes. See you later. All right, Joe, you want to pull up Mark and Krista, see if it works this time?
Mark and Krista, you there?
Hello.
Oh, hey. All right, this is
that's a hard act to follow right there, man.
Yeah.
How are we? How are we on level? How are we on our volume levels?
Oh, perfect.
Good.
Perfect.
So they're audio only, so we're going to jump right into this. So we're going to say, I talked to Mark about this earlier. Oh, real quick, are you guys Bama or Auburn fans?
We're Bama.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Roll. Yeah, baby. Love it.
I was going to say the one thing we have in common is I live in a place where our football team dominates. Well, not so much anymore. The Patriots. That must be kind of fun. It's a different type of life, Joe, living in a place where it's not NFL teams, it's college sports.
Yeah, well, I love Alabama. That's like my favorite college football team. I was just with a buddy of mine, Britt, who is an attorney in Alabama, and just invited me to come down to his ranch and go catch a game next season. So I'm excited for that. And I'm excited to talk to a couple Bama fans.
Yeah, boy.
So what we'll say here is, Jetai, you're going to go first. And I talked to Mark. We're going to call this a lifestyle.
Lifestyle.
So try to narrow it down like we did the other ones and then maybe guess.
Well, when I hear lifestyle, this is my question. Are you guys swingers?
I know.
No.
No.
Are you guys preparing for the end of the world?
Not exactly.
Okay.
Not exactly.
Not exactly. Okay, I'll go with
Are
that.
you
So,
guys
Joe,
alien hunters?
I'm sorry, what?
Are you guys alien hunters?
No.
No.
Now, Joe, just keep in mind your answer to your question. They kind of had to pause a little bit. So,
Yeah.
Alien hunters. I'm kind of liking the sound of that. That actually would be pretty cool in a way. Where would you start, with a lead like that?
All right. Let me think about this for a minute. Are you... It's got nothing to do with aliens. I think we just established that. Is that about right?
That's
It's
correct.
a lifestyle. Do you guys do coupons? Are you like the coupon champions of the world?
Coupons, yes. Champions, no.
it's not why they're here, Joe.
Okay.
No, I mean, I take mine to the store like this.
So you're a good shopper then. All right.
I'm a good shopper, yes.
What is it you buy at the grocery store?
Groceries.
Oh no, Joe. This is yes or no questions. But,
Yes and no, me.
But actually, guys, could that be a question where like it would help them if you were allowed to answer that question or no?
I would say yes.
Yeah. I
Do you
think so,
buy a
too.
lot of food?
Yes.
So you're either the world's fattest couple.
Oh,
No.
gosh.
No.
All right. I wasn't asking technically.
Gotcha. Okay.
I was going to say hoarders, but that's not the word I'm looking for.
Nope.
You guys stockpile food? Do you make your own food?
Yes.
Are you guys?
Well, it's still on Joe.
Oh, okay.
I'm still. Yeah. Are you guys preppers?
Ding, 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 ding.
Yes.
No way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So from what they have their own website, which is practicalprepping.info, and they have their own podcast.
Oh, very cool.
Prepping. Yeah.
Oh, yes, and it's really growing.
And it's a daily podcast, and it focuses on practical prepping. And it's kind of an outgrowth of a book we wrote called Practical Prepping for Everyday People. And Joe asked if we were prepping for the end of the world. We're not. If we have something that is a societal changing event like a total nuclear war, we don't want to survive that. We're grandparents. Our kids are grown. We've had a great life. Well, I just like to have time to get out in the backyard and sit in the swing and watch the fireworks because we know we're about 5 miles from a major target. But we prep for the practical things.
The ordinary daily emergencies and even bigger things like, cataclysmic storms, hurricanes, tornadoes, that sort of thing rips through a community and tears it down to the ground. And so you've got to be able to act and respond and recover from that sort of thing, and having a sense of preparedness for not only your mindset, but also the practical gear and things you need. And we consider food and water the most important things you can prep for, because you can have all the gear in the world and all the ammo in the world and all the backpacks in the world, but you can't eat or drink any of those things. And if you're going to survive like a lockdown or a power outage or a longer term thing, you got to eat and drink. So those are our top two.
I was out of toilet paper 2 weeks into the shutdown.
Yikes.
Have we used all of ours up yet?
No, we still have some. That's one thing I like about prepping. Prepping allows you to not panic buy. And so we cruised right through 2020. We never had to panic buy anything because we have stored food and we rotate that food out, into our daily life and then replace it as needed.
What kind of foods are best that you buy?
Generally, anything canned or in a dry form like dry rice or dry beans have the longest shelf life, even longer than the expiration codes that are actually printed on the can. Most cans are 3 years. Most good advanced preppers can open them 10 to 15 years later and they're fine. So canned goods and dry stored goods are tops as far as shelf life. You're also going to buy what you eat. There's no sense in purchasing a whole bunch of stuff you don't eat anyway. So just buy your regular things. We get people started with prepping by saying, listen, you're going to the grocery store, just pick up an extra couple of cans of stuff you like, put that aside. Do that every trip. And before you know it, you got 6 months of food stored. And that helps people because sometimes you lose your job or you relocate or somebody gets sick. And funds and finances can be harmed by that. And so if you've got a stockpile of food, at least you can eat, and that's an important thing. It's something we all want to do every day.
So I know Jetai is gonna have a lot of questions because she's kind of she's an amateur prepper. But one of the things I wanted to talk about, one of the things I wanted to ask about the shelf life is I was cleaning out my pantry the other day and I found behind a box of Cheez-Its, and I'm like, oh God, how long have these been here for? And the expiration date was March 2021, about a year ago, and I opened them up and they were completely fine.
Oh yeah.
That's so funny that you guys are on here because I was just cleaning my garage, making room to store food earlier today.
That's very, very smart. The term prepper is a more modern term for the way a lot of people have lived their lives for literally hundreds of years. We had grandparents and great-grandparents and pioneers and everybody back in the past. They didn't call themselves preppers. They just stored food and they learned how to mechanic their farm tools and they learned to do their own doctoring. And that's a form of preparedness. Everybody's a prepper to some degree.
Is it okay to save and store food in the garage? if you don't have a storage area?
Yes,
Will it be
absolutely.
safe there? Okay.
Well, you want to be careful with how hot it gets in that garage.
Okay.
You don't want to be storing canned foods when it's getting up 90 and 100 degrees out there.
I mean, if you can comfortably walk around in your garage after having it being closed up and you're not stifling or gasping for air, and so long as you're not storing your food on the absolute concrete ground level, yes, you can. You might even want to put it into another bucket, like a 5-gallon bucket, and put a lid on that just to kind of keep rodents and pests and spider webs out of your stock as well.
Now, you're perfectly fine storing rice and beans and pasta out there. That's not a problem, but you really don't want your canned foods getting extremely hot.
Okay. That's a good tip. Thank you.
Yeah. Now, me and Jedi always talk about the coin shortage, and I did see on your website there's a baby formula shortage. Is that real?
That is real.
That is real.
We have 2 daughters right now with newborn infants, and they've had to scramble a little bit to find,
The formula that they use.
over-the-counter formula. And so I did a little research for them and found that, of course, it's an emergency situation. You don't want to raise your child on the emergency recipe, but there are times when you might have a weekend or something that you are just out and you can't buy, beg, borrow, or steal it. So you got to make formula, and there are some very specific guidelines on that. I'm a little bit fuzzy on the details on that because I don't have to make formula. But yes, we wanted to provide that because there are some people, right here in America, we're not talking about third world problems. We're talking about down the street America, and there are whole shelves of formula that's supposed to be there, but the shelf is empty.
And part of it is a supply chain issue. And we're probably going to see greater supply chain breakages. It's not just ships that are not able to get into port. We're going to see more food shortages coming in, say, 6 or 8 months. The cost of fertilizer has gone up tremendous. And so the farmers are either having to charge more or they're not able to raise what they've been raising. And I know that there's a number of farmers that has switched over from corn to soybean simply because of the fertilizer situation. And then you take the price of petroleum products. They burn a lot of diesel fuel, and the price of diesel fuel is ridiculous now.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're suggesting people start your little stockpile. You just never know when you might need to rely on it.
It's like that here in California too. The baby formula, the shelves are empty, and some of the places they put the formula under lock and key. So that's interesting.
Or they limit you to your you can purchase 1, maybe 2 cans.
Right.
And that's I'm telling you, people that I think that some of this started with the pandemic, with the whole supply chain problem. And we began to realize that, everything is connected. And when there's one disruption in that connection, whether it's from the grocery store level or the freight level or even the farmer level, any one of those dominoes gets kicked out of line, it's got a residual effect. And we're now beginning to reap some of what's been sown because of all of that disruption. So that's too big of a problem to solve. We've got to attack it another way. So our way to attack that is to provide for us and our own, and to put that message out there to let other people know, listen, when you have an opportunity to buy extra, buy it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Now, one of the things I found interesting in your website is when people prep, a lot of people want to make sure they have firearms and all this stuff. But I did see it's more likely that you'll need CPR than a firearm.
That's correct. It's more likely that you will need CPR to save a family member's life than it will be a firearm.
That's true. Yeah. Skills are just as much a part of prepping as food, water, or gear.
And you think
you guys will be impressed to know that every person I've met over the last 4 years, I've in my head put together what I call my zombie apocalypse team. Okay. And I analyze everybody I meet, and I think, like, my wife doesn't know it. She's out.
Yeah.
She isn't good with like doing that kind of stuff. I don't see where
Oh,
she would be
no.
helpful. I love
No.
her. Don't get me wrong, but
Oh, it sure sounds like it.
if I gotta,
Well,
I gotta repopulate the earth.
Krista will be right there with me, and
Yeah.
you know, she's got my back. No problem.
But I know what you
And
mean about your group, your community.
Yeah.
You know, you're starting to pick and choose the ones that, you know, when the S hits the fan, you got to know who your community is. And you never know, you might be spending the night in the woods with these people. So you just really want to pick them well.
Krista, my neighbors were setting a tent up at a party when it started to rain in the backyard of somebody's house. And I was judging every single one of those people. And one of the wives stepped up and was like, "You guys are flipping around. You got it backwards. Get the—" And I was like, "Dude, Jill is on the team. She's leading my team. There's a leadership position for her." Yeah.
So you were auditioning your team and they didn't even know it.
well,
I didn't know it.
on the podcast introduction, when Krista recorded it, she said, "Where gear is good, but knowledge is better, because the more you know, the less you have to carry."
Yeah.
That's true.
Now, how do you guys keep up with the daily podcast? That's pretty impressive. Every day the podcast is released?
Every day,
we
5
do.
days a week.
We've got a 5-day-a-week release. We upped it. We started 2 years ago with what, 2 or 3.
We started with one per week. Actually, we started twice a month, every other week. And then about 2 weeks in, we went to every week.
Wow.
And then about 6 months in, we went to 3 times a week. We were doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then some nut had the idea back in January to go full, 5 days a week. And
I told him. I warned him.
it's interesting.
Yeah, I
Go
mean,
ahead,
Joe.
go ahead, yeah.
Joe's been in radio. Joe's a podcasting teacher. Joe, what do you have? 40-something podcasts, Joe?
I have 45 podcasts on my network. Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty Joe, that's pretty impressive every day.
Oh yeah, I don't even podcast every day. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need days off.
Yeah, I do have a last question. Now, I did realize when we were doing the prepper episode, people prep for different reasons. Nuclear attack, the economy. Do you guys have like something on the top of your list, or not really?
Well, we're in North Alabama, and we are in Tornado Alley. Tornado Alley goes across Alabama, and Alabama actually has more tornadoes than Oklahoma has.
Wow.
The thing about Oklahoma is it's flat, and you can see them, and in Alabama, you don't see them like that, and most of our tornadoes are rain wrapped. And we basically, what we're prepared to do is to ride out an extended power outage, not being able to get to the store. She went through Hurricane Hugo in just outside Charlotte, and it was still a hurricane when it got there. I went through the blizzard of 93 in Birmingham when, you don't think of Birmingham having 20 inches of snow, but we did. And I was without power 7 days there, and she was without power for 10 days in North Carolina. So that gave us a clue that we needed some power options. And so basically we're prepared to be self-sufficient after some type of emergency, whether it is a week or whether it's 2 weeks or a month or whatever. We're also prepared for any of the job loss type situations, and we've actually, when we went to one income for a short period of time, we actually ate out of our preps for a while, and it really took the pressure off of not having to buy groceries there for about a month or so.
Yeah, that makes sense. So we're just about out of time, but Jetai or Joe, do you have any last questions for him?
No, but remember when I said I was talking to my friend from Alabama the other day? He was talking about that big snowstorm because he was driving people all over the place. Yeah, that's hilarious. Small world.
It's historic.
Also, you guys, I would love to listen to your podcast because you're both so pleasant. What do you guys do? What were you doing for a living before you started doing this?
Well, we actually both are still working full time, which now that I actually say that out loud in words, I realize just how wild and crazy it is to have a full-time podcast and 2 full-time jobs. Mark is in law enforcement, and
Oh,
I
wow.
am in the window treatment industry.
But Krista is also a former professional singer, songwriter, recording artist, and she traveled in gospel music for about 15 years.
Wow.
Right.
guys are
I'm even
amazing.
I'm even trying to write a song, and I'm going to start it this way. Practice cooking on an open fire. For all my prepper friends.
All right, Jedi. Do you have anything else?
No, I don't. I'm interested in listening to you guys' podcast as well.
Please
So,
do.
practicalprepping.info is the website. Now, is the podcast called Practical Prepping?
Practical Prepping Podcast.
And you can access it from the website or our Facebook page. Definitely visit. I think you'll find something you'll enjoy. We come up with interesting topics, things that are interesting to us and other people, and we've enjoyed being a part of your program. You guys are pleasant and fun also, and that just sounds like our community.
Oh, thanks. So it looks like, thank you. So you're coming up on what? Episode 400, right?
Episode 200 will be Monday.
Yeah, I saw it.
200 is Monday.
I thought it was $3.99. Yeah, it's $1.99. That's cool. All right. Well, thanks. Yeah.
Jedi, if we can help, just reach out, email us, whatever way. We'll be glad to help.
Oh, yes, most definitely. I will contact you because I want to be prepared.
We will help you every step of the way.
And we've got some articles on getting started, and they're getting ready to add some more articles to the website. And we're just having fun, even though it's 14, 15-hour days. We're having fun.
Yeah.
And keeps me out of trouble. And since she's a 6-foot redhead, I have to stay out of trouble.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice
Thank you
meeting
very
you
much.
guys.
Thank
Nice
you.
meeting you
Yeah.
as well.
All right. All right. So, Morks, the end is here. This is usually Jedi's part, but I'll do it. That'll do it for this edition of What's My Line. Let us know what you think. We'd like to do this again. Hopefully, Jedi is still talking to me after this.
Yeah, that was such a surprise impromptu. Oh my goodness.
See you next week.
Bye, guys.